Welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Before we get started this time, I wanted to mention that I went ahead and got B support with basically everyone on the Black Eagles using the Renown, because I realized that realistically there's no way I'm going to get all of the cross-house supports for them with, like, before the time skip. So I'm pretty much gonna have to recruit all of them if I want to do that. Originally, I was kind of thinking it would be cool to see, like, what it's like, you know, to have them on the enemy side after the time skip. But I've also kind of reconsidered that position because, well, in future playthroughs, I'll probably be focusing a lot less on supporting and recruiting and things like that anyway, just if I'm trying to, like, play faster, which I probably will be. So, in light of that, I think it makes sense actually to go the other direction this time. And luckily, I haven't done anything to really compromise my ability to do that. In fact, I've done a fair amount to set myself up to do that. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. But in the meantime, we have supports. Many supports.
Lawrence, do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
My dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together, maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lawrence, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
Oh, that's my poem.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lawrence? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see them. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission. What an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lawrence.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No, be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
Man, I did not expect this level of trolling from Manuela. But I want to actually look back at the actual poem, see if there's anything more to that than just like, I am a sad boy. Way too far there. Alright. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn. Bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. My mind clings to desperate thoughts. Here comes Horsebow Moon and Summer's End. Okay, so that's just talking about... I guess Horsebow Moon is like the month at the end of the summer. But I was gonna assume it was... I guess he's just in love with someone and can't like get over them, even though they're not into him, probably that would be the best guess that I have for what the bonds mean in context with the aching heart. So I assume where this support ultimately ends up going is that if you get to like the A support, that he's like, oh, actually it was all about you, Manuela. Which would be kind of awful. But yeah, at first I was like, wait, explain this poem. Isn't she the poetry teacher for Ferdinand? But it makes more sense.
Well, hello there, gorgeous. You're looking lovely today. Join me on a stroll around town? Aw, is a sweet girl like you doing all this hard work by yourself? That's no good. Allow me to help.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Leonie. Sorry, but I'm kind of in a hurry right now.
Hey! Get back here!
Whoa, no need to yell. Do you need something?
You chat up all the girls like that, don't you?
What a terrible thing to say. I see a girl, I figure it would be rude just to pass her by without at least a wink, or a nice word. But you knew that, so I'm going to get going now. See you, Leonie.
Wait, now hold on! How come it's not rude for you to just pass me by?
Me? Pass who now?
Look at me! I'm a girl, you know.
Oh, I see. A girl. You're a girl. Huh. Sorry. I know it's true in theory, but it looks like my brain doesn't want to accept it. But you're correct. You are a beautiful girl in your own right. Yes, that is a statement with which I agree. I am ever so terribly sorry for being so rude, my lady. How can I ever make this up to you?
Hang on, back up. Don't get the wrong idea.
Seriously, I feel just dreadful about how I acted. This is the first time I've done anything like this. It's shocking that I'm capable of such low behavior. Even if you are a somewhat crude, spirited girl, that doesn't excuse my...
What did you just call me?
Right, of course. I'm sorry. I can't believe I was so thoughtless.
Hey! Acting pitiful won't get you anywhere. I won't just forget about this, you know.
Okay, well, I guess her whole, like, people don't think I'm a girl, it has at least one data point in support of it. Yeesh. Okay, I think I've seen this one before.
Oh, is that Sedith? Wow, he looks really deep in thought. I wonder what he's writing. A secret diary, maybe?
That phrase doesn't quite work, does it? Let's see about an alternative.
Too uncertain for a diary. Maybe it's a letter. Or a poem.
No, that's bound to introduce misunderstanding. Precision is the key.
It must be really important if he's putting that much thought into every word.
But I mustn't overcomplicate things either. Parting words ought to be precise.
Parting? It's a farewell letter? Is he writing his resignation?
Oh my god, Bernadetta!
Sedith can be a little scary sometimes, but I hope he doesn't leave. It'd be sad to see him go. He shouldn't make such rash decisions. If
You're
he's
one to
unhappy
talk.
about something, he should tell someone.
Come now. Do you really think I would resign?
You heard all that?
If you don't wish to be heard talking to yourself, then you should not speak. I'm sorry to hear that you find me intimidating.
I'm sorry! I won't disturb you ever again!
Oh my god.
Wait, Bernadetta! Typical behavior for the girl. Most concerning. Can she really go through life this way?
Oh, Bernadetta. She started off that support so well, too. Alright, I'd seen that one too, didn't call it out in advance, but skipped over it. So I guess there weren't actually that many new supports to watch.
Hey there, Professor. I'm not unhappy where I am, but I was just thinking that maybe if I was with you, well, I might learn even more. You're the kind of guy a gal could pay attention to, you know? Oh yeah? That's great! I'm looking forward to spending more time with you, Professor.
Got Dorothea. I tried recruiting the other Eagles, but no luck.
People say you're quite skilled. Perhaps if I joined your class, I could watch your sword technique up close. Indeed, I think that's best. I'll transfer to your class then. Don't make me regret it.
Yeah, I realized, I don't know why I was only talking about recruiting the Black Eagles. I can only improve the supports for the Black Eagles for the most part, but I can certainly recruit characters in the Blue Lions, so I'm gonna do that.
Hey, Professor. Pretty great timing. I want to ask you something. I'd like to be in your class, if that's possible. I've been thinking, maybe I ought to get serious about studying. Wow, very decisive. I like it. I'll be there on time and in the front row and everything. You'll never have a better student.
And there's another one. Oh, that changes the conversation.
I swear, it's like you're an entirely different person. No, not at all. I mean...
It's the same conversation. What the heck?
Professor, hi! I have a request for you, if that's okay. So, I want to join your class, please! Huh? Really? Oh, thank you! I'm so happy right now! I just know I'll be able to learn all sorts of things with your guidance. I can't wait! Ah! Professor! Sorry, this'll take some getting used to. Your hair and eye color are completely different! You just don't look like yourself anymore. Of course!
So that is a weird system for the conversations. Alright, well, we got another one.
Working hard, aren't you? I can assist with any tasks or help with your students. On it. I'm available anytime I'm not on a mission with the Knights.
Yeah, so I also realized I don't actually know if you can recruit faculty members after the time skip, even though it seems like you ought to be able to, but I'm just going to assume that you can and recruit the ones that I can recruit.
Hey, Professor. You're good looking, you know that?
Thank you.
At the same time, you look like someone who was born to fight. I bet we'd get along. I'm also good looking and born to fight. Need any help with your class? Feel free to call on me when a fight's brewing. Thunderbrand and I will be there when you need us.
I wonder if that means I can take Thunderbrand off of her.
Oh, Professor. I will do whatever I can to serve you. Excellent. Leave it to me. No matter how small the task is, I vowed to Gerald I would help you.
Professor, I've been watching your class activities, and I wondered if you might desire my help. Just say the word, and I'll pitch in. Of course, I have to be truthful. It's all just a ploy to make it easier to research your crest. Feel free to call on me anytime. I'll be happy to lend a hand. And then you can help out with my class, too. It's a joke, Professor. I'd never put a burden on you, a first-year teacher.
Yeah, you and all the students that are going to be in your class after I finish with this.
Hello, Professor. I know that look in your eye. You want to ask me a favor. You want me to help out with your class, right? You just say the word, and I'll help however I can. Don't worry about it. You're just starting out as a teacher, right? It's only natural for those of us with more experience to help the younger generation.
I learned all sorts of things, so I can do as much as possible for Lady Rhea. Cleaning, chopping wood, making feed. Oh, and I'm learning the bow and arrow from Shamir. I'm happy to help you out with anything you need done for your class. You betcha. I'm your guy, Professor. Since, you know, you can't exactly add me to your class or anything.
Why not? So, I'm not gonna go over what all of these new recruits can do because it really doesn't matter. I'm not gonna use them. But I did think it was interesting that they are all level 21. So I assume that's slightly below average. Like there's some leveling mechanic involved. So yeah. That is a lot higher than Manuela and Hanneman came in previously. Guess I should also check, yeah, like Annette and Sylvain. Sylvain doesn't have his lance. Well, that's a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, they're all level 21, so it's just pinning some kind of average. And it looks like we can indeed use the Thunderbrand. It's basically a better Brave Sword, if nothing else. So, yeah. Alright, I went ahead and gifted my way to be support with Ingrid. I'm going to do the same thing with, I think it's Annette as well, just in case it does the thing that happened to me in my Black Eagles playthrough where Lysithia's support got locked out because I didn't get it before the time skip.
Ugh, will Father never learn? All of these useless letters are only creating more rubbish in the world. Professor? Oh, I didn't see you standing there. My apologies. Oh, that paper. Well, Yes, it was. It was a letter from my father. I understand where you're coming from here, but I have no need of such things. It isn't like anything of importance was written on it. Curious? I suppose there's no harm in allowing you to read it. Go on then.
What?
My dearest daughter, Ingrid. Are you well? I trust that you are behaving yourself and refraining from causing trouble for others. Things on the home front are in order. The marriage proposal for you and the Viscount's son should be prepared soon. Although, I am quite certain there are many superior candidates at Garreg Mach Monastery. As you know, the very survival of our family is dependent upon whom you marry. You are the only one left in the family who can make things right. We are all counting on you. Do not lose sight of what truly matters.
Yes. Perhaps you found it somewhat entertaining. I've told you that we've never been very well off financially. My noble family, House Galatea, branched off from House Daphne in the Alliance. Shortly after, we were lucky enough to receive the support of the royal family, allowing us to attain nobility, to some extent. But the territory we watch over is poor, its harvest meager, and our noble blood too has grown thin. Neither my father nor my brothers bear a crest. I, however, do bear a crest. Because of this, my father sees me as our family's one hope for the future. A crest is highly prized among nobles. Were I to marry into a greater noble family, that financial support could soothe our woes. Thank you, Professor. Your sentiment alone is a great comfort to me. Despite my own feelings, I understand his approach to all this. It isn't that he doesn't care for me. I understand it very, very well, which is why I apologize, Professor. I must be going. Professor.
And with this...
I'm so sorry, Professor. I somehow overslept and missed our training session.
And with this, I got Violet to be support with every character in the game, or at least like time-locked be support, one or the other.
I didn't mean to cause you and the others so much trouble.
Imagine if that had happened during one of our missions. It really is inexcusable. It's just, when I'm studying tactics, I lose track of time and... Oh, who am I kidding? I've always been like this. Before I came to the Officers Academy, I was a student at the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad. Even back then, I was pulling all-nighters well before the exams. And I never even noticed I was harming myself. I'm just too focused on my goal. I know I've already told you this, but I really love to learn new things. It's a passion of sorts. I first realized I had the learning bug when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My father was so happy to see me using magic. Seeing him happy made me happy too, and that made me want to work even harder. If only things could have stayed like that. When I was about 13, my father left home. He was a devout man, so I figured he'd gone to the monastery. That's why I went to the School of Sorcery, so that I could eventually get accepted at the Officers Academy. I studied harder than ever, and sure enough, I finally earned a referral. Unfortunately, my passion for learning became more of an obsession. I got so focused, I kind of forgot how to relax. Feels like I've been running in circles ever since. No way! I still have such a long way to go. Still, I guess I'm doing something wrong if I'm working so hard I can't even work hard anymore. Okay, it's decided. From now on, I'll try my best not to try my best.
Yeah, okay.
Yay! With you on my side, I'm sure I'll succeed. From now on, if you see me going overboard, just let me know. I'm a new woman after all.
I'll bet. So she definitely knows who her dad is and just doesn't want to tell anyone, and he doesn't either, I guess. Alright, so at this point, like I said, Byleth has B supports or locked to B supports with every character. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. It might still be tricky to get everyone's supports maxed out by the end of the playthrough, but we'll see. Maybe we can make it happen. In the meantime, this weekend is definitely done with, so we can definitely move on. I guess we do have a paralogue now. Alright, be back in a bit. As you might expect, Marianne and Flane did not receive instruction, and also, perhaps obviously, neither did all of these other characters that I just dumped onto my roster. And other than that, I don't think anything particularly interesting happened, so I guess we'll just move on. Oh, I didn't check this, but I think this is what I want to be doing anyway. And I guess I could switch back to these two now that Lorenz is already at B+. Yeah, I'll do that.
I have a question.
Shoot. Lectures about strategy or reason require so much focus, I end up absolutely famished. But if I go to class after a big meal, I can't help getting sleepy.
What a wonderful idea!
Yeah. Super relevant. No. Not that it matters, but I'm figuring I'm just gonna let everybody who wasn't in my class to begin with train on just whatever they are already high level on and their default training options are, which is what they basically all they dump their points into. You know, when they're not on your roster, and then by virtue of doing that, maybe I can, I don't know, just see what it looks like when people get to A+ or S rank in some of the other skills. I mean, I could look it up on the internet too, but it's not like it matters anyway. Wait, what was that bow rank going to E down at the bottom?
Oh, I see now.
Well, that worked out.
Haha, I'm starting to
Oh
get
my
it.
gosh. Oh, his flight for Cyril, that's right. Yeah, for some reason he is like axe bow, but he has a boon in flight. I did change him to that before I decided that I didn't need to bother changing anyone else's. I don't know why I did that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright, so that all took way longer than I was meaning for it to take. So probably I'm just going to stop here. But let's see what happens if we... Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh my gosh, and some of these are only available for a week. They're all only available until 2/22. Oh my gosh! That is actually hilarious. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but holy crap. Now these are all... With the exception of this one, these are all battles that I've done before, so I don't necessarily need to do them again. I'll give that some thought. Like, they might be more interesting in doing this, except for the difficulty level. Like, some of these suggested levels, 13. Man. Man, oh man. Alright, well, I'll have some things to consider for next time, but for now, I'm gonna sign off, and then... Yeah, we're gonna do some kind of fighting next weekend, that's for sure. Just a question of what. Till then,